Yes, I think that's very possible and indeed probable. We've talked earlier about the different changing model within 3D printing, so we may be moving to a licensing model rather than a selling of product model. But I think it's broader than that. I think the opportunities that connectivity give us mean there are greater opportunities for changing the model. And what we've seen so far, to put it in context, is that manufacturers have become more and more sophisticated, there's more and more automation, there's more and more globalization. But the model has remained pretty much linear. So we have effectively manufacturing through to supply and onward supply to the end consumer, so in a straight line. But the connectivity means you can connect at all angles, you can be more global, and that in turn produces a different sort of model. What we're also seeing is a demand through from customers to have greater accessibility to products and also perhaps a personalisation of the product. So what does that mean for manufacturers? Well, what we're seeing is really a move into a product and service sort of offering, being referred to as servitization as well. But increasingly we're seeing our clients coming to us to talk to us about this. So instead of the traditional sales model where you sell the product on, you would actually retain ownership of the product, for example, and actually provide it as a service to your customer, combined with additional services. So again, to make that a bit clearer by way of example, Philips are offering a lighting system. So rather than buying your lighting system, they would provide it to you on a service basis. So you don't own the lighting system, but why do you need to own it? And then they provide a maintenance service with it as well. We're also seeing it in the printing area where HP are offering a service where through connectivity they can tell when your printer needs ink. So they arrange for that to be delivered as well. The opportunities give them better sort of buy-in to their customers, and it gives a greater personalisation to the customer. In addition to that, we're seeing from manufacturers of building products right the way through to manufacturers of medical devices supplying the product alongside a service that sits around it. But that means that those are really quite different models from the traditional buy and sell model. Therefore, the contracts are going to be quite different. So they need to allow for this additional service that is going to be provided, this actual not transferring ownership of the product itself. And that in turn brings out some of the issues that we've been talking about earlier around the whole issue of intellectual property, where does that lie, the issue of data, again, in the model that I'm actually measuring how much ink that you're using, that actually is personal to you, and what am I going to do with that data? That needs to be regulated. The whole financial piece, and again, back to the product liability piece that we were talking about earlier. So the contracts, whilst there will be an element of it being the same as in the past, there will be a lot about it that will need to change. And as I've said earlier, a lot of this is identifying the issues, making sure that you're aware of them, and then making sure that you have the right contractual model to deal for this different sort of circular business model that is evolving. And I think we'll see a lot more of that.